information.
Like, I don't know you guys. Okay, so I'm more interested in Montagraph, and other than I don't know. So there's an echo. I don't know where this came from.
I don't know,
But
but keep going. I'll play with it.
I'm more interested in Montagraph and what's going on this thing between Tarek and Snaps, because we have like a legend on the stream right now. Like, I seriously have no hate towards you. I don't know why you thought I did it earlier, but you said you were one of 12 anonymous, right?
Yes, I'm the guy that.
That's what I mean, guys. This is an opportunity to ask this guy questions. Do you know anything about aliens?
Go ahead.
Like, you guys don't understand this opportunity. Like, I really don't understand why I pissed him off, but I'm glad he's here.
No, that's a good question. I hadn't even thought about it because I have no way.
I know, you simple people.
What do you know about aliens? Do you know anything about aliens?
Yeah, like, come on. I gotta go to bed soon, by the way. But yeah.
That was you, Montagraph. Do you know anything about aliens?
Aliens?
Yes.
You said
a bunch of them are coming over.
Oh, that's what I would say too. Yeah, he's right.
What does anonymous and aliens have to do with each other? Like,
because
are they
if
related
you could hack
somehow?
into anything like government computers, presumably, I assume that was why the question came up.
Yeah, I thought they were kind of everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, they were like intertwined with information that we don't know.
Well,
This is a legend.
Let me give you a hint on everything. The incarceration of Mr. Brown was absolute bullshit. Let's just put it that way.
Who's Mr. Brown? I don't even know about that.
Dude, how bad is AI right now for us?
It's very bad. AI is going to destroy probably human beings as we
like. How much of the internet is AI right now?
Is it already AI?
95%.
I would say 60% in my opinion.
That scares me, dude. That scares me.
Here's the thing. Hold on a second. How many people in the room? There's 5 people in this chat log. Mitchell, Simple Jack, Nacho over there, Pole State, and Hank. Okay, now check this out. Right now, the frequencies between your router and your system, whether it be your phone, whether you be on a laptop, whether you be on a desktop, it doesn't matter the apparatus in which you're using. The frequencies are literally scraping your thoughts. I know this sounds hard to believe, but I'm gonna ask you to do a little homework assignment, and you're gonna know I'm gonna be right. What's gonna happen is you're gonna have a private thought, and within literally less than seconds or minutes later, you're gonna see the exact same private thought in your social media, on your Twitter, on your Facebook, on your YouTubes, in news articles, in advertisements. The exact thoughts that you had will show up right in front of you.
That's true.
I've
had that experience.
Yes, you've had
like what
100%. Yeah.
That is the AI. That is artificial. See, there's a clash right now going on between, which is called NI, and AI. NI is natural intelligence. AI is artificial intelligence. So my theory is, not that I'm right. I'm just one guy. My theory is that the natural intelligence is far more superior than artificial intelligence. The reason why is I figured out a system to trick the algorithms through code and not through key code, because the international language right now is binary, 100001110001, and it has been since around the frickin' late 80s, okay? Binary code is the international language because, let's say Tarek can be in New Hampshire and he could send a text message to me, and then I could send one to, Simple Jack in California, and then he could send one to Snafu in Arizona. You see what I mean? And it's all ones and zeros. However, the same guy could send the same message and forward the message to the Arab Emirates, to the frickin', Lebanon, could send that to Africa, could send it. But guess what? Even though it's different languages, it's under binary code, the computer code. What AI is going to do is it's going to force this thing called the electronic panopticon. So we're going to go from paper money, coin money, into cryptocurrency. If you look up the definition of crypto, it's a secret allegiance to communism. It sure is. cryptocurrency. It's the blockchain. Before, when we were all young, we saw the ball and chain. The ball and chain. Well, if you wanted to be mobile, you could roll or you could drag that ball and get somewhere. They've made it now through the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, the blockchain. Now it's more difficult to move because you're going to be within the electronic panopticon. So they're going to get rid of money altogether, paper money, and it's my opinion they're going to use a pathogen to get rid of all currency and say, oh, well, we got Marburg and it's on the money. And because money is a fomite, it transfers disease, and we can't have it, and we're going to have to go to something safer. That's
right.
How
You can't leave your house, and you just have to, you can't leave your house. You have to use all digital.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Digital. Now they're gonna hook that up to what is called the UBI. That's going to be the Universal Basic Income, and all of these municipalities and all these different countries are on board with this under the United Nations right this second. This is happening now. The European Union.
Yep.
Is setting this up. This is not a lie. However, there's ways to get around this blockchain. There's ways right now to get around the algorithm because as Mr. Flow State was saying, oh my God, he's dropping all these words that, if you use these words, then YouTube will kick you out. You have a higher propensity of being, banned or kicked out, or you lose your video because you're saying naughty words. However, you can say code words. That's going to be under NI because chances are everybody in your room, I can't see your room, but whoever's in your room, your people know you. They know you, buddy. You could give them a code like paper equates to something else. Or, if I say orange, I really mean something else. Or if I say roll up your sleever, what am I talking about? You probably
that was actually...
If I said Wuhan wiggle, you probably know what I said. The algorithm's being tricked. Because the algorithm is translating and transcribing every word every 7 seconds on YouTube with a 7-second delay. And as it transcribes, it's transcribing Wuhan wiggle. Well, what does that mean? Starts with a C, ends with a D. See what I mean?
Yeah, so Montagraph, you're right, but I'm purposely trying to write my thoughts to the algorithm to get control over the universe, but I need to get to work. So I'm going to excuse myself. Talk to you later.
Later, Hank. And that was
later, Hank.
About,
Here's the thing.
Using a different word.
Let me show you another thing. Your phone is the most dangerous thing on your person, because your phone has there's a direct like with all our computers right now we have the electronic handshake, right? So technically I'm in your computer and you're in mine technically, even though the third source is going to be
Streambirds.
The video sharing site that you're using. But what I'm saying is, with the frequency, that's what's dangerous. It's a frequency that is emitting from the phone and most importantly your router. But I'm telling you, if you wanted to break the frequency, even though all your phones, chances are under what is called the 4 LTE. Very few phones are under 5G because 5G is line of sight. But it's my opinion. Here we go. It's only my opinion that they've run 5G line of sight and they've incorporated somehow with the 4 LTE. And what's happening is there's a frickin' daisy chain. There's a daisy chain of, let's say this is your coming into your driveway into your neighborhoods. Well, most of the 5G networks is hooked up to the lights or the towers up here. But how they're doing it is there's a router from this house, a router that house, router. All the routers are running either on fiber optic networking or copper. Is that correct? But
That's
it's
what I was
the
going to say.
frequencies, buddy.
Yeah,
it's a frequency. So what I'm saying is if you want to eliminate all signal coming in and out of your phone, you take tinfoil and you crumple it up and you wrap your phone like a hot dog and collapse it like this. Have your buddy call you. It ain't going to ring. They can leave you a message.
Oh, that'd be fun. I want to try that.
Microwave.
Now, here's the thing. If you got a smartphone, you got to wrap it twice. Now, why this is important is you crumple the tinfoil, you very gently, don't put a hole in, very gently uncrumple it, roll it up, fold it over. Take another one, crumple it up, roll it up like a hot dog. I'll bet you $1,000 it won't ring.
You're right.
I'll bet you another $1,000 they can leave a message, and I'll bet you another $1,000 you'll be able to retrieve the message within 10 seconds to 20 minutes later.
Flo, let me get $1,000, bro. I want to bet on this, dude.
Okay,
right now.
Don't
Call
bet
me.
on it. You're gonna lose.
What do you think? What do you think
You're gonna
about
lose,
this?
believe me.
What do you think about the
Okay.
street lights? Purple street lights. You got any theories?
Ooh.
Yeah, purple. Yeah. Well, there's a patent that was put out back in the day. I wanted to say it was by ABM, but maybe it wasn't. And what it is those lights bring in a sense of calm. It's a way to calm you. They used it in mental hospitals back in the day where they would kind of like paint the walls a tint of pink.
I've heard Japan using
kind
them.
of like a calm ambience, let's say. It would make you want to like resort back into your house. You know, kind of like apprehensive. That's what I want to say. Because when we've done deep dives on that, we call the manufacturers up and say, what's going on? They're like, oh, well, it was a manufacturing issue. Then why don't you recall them? Why do you keep installing them everywhere? So I think they're lying. I think they're full of shit. I think that's exactly
I just
what it is.
posted a link backstage to a video I made with my theory on them. You should check it out sometime. I think it's optogenetics, and I'll put it in actually the main chat too right now.
And they have the 5
The
same
5G?
in those powers. Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but like 5G in those lamps as well. I mean, because
Yes, exactly. They do.
you need to
They do.
create. They have to
Yep.
create like a net, and a lot of them in order to be effective.
Well,
with
see,
the
another
microwave
way to say
technology.
that 5 thing is just say 5-7, because the 7th letter of the alphabet is G, right?
It's the G.
So that's how
Yep,
you can kind of
yep.
get around it, and you can pull the algorithm. But I'm just saying the NI, believe me, our intelligence is far more superior than any AI. It still is now, even though they're scraping our thoughts. Now, how would be a way to keep them from scraping your thoughts? Well,
Tinfoil
here's
hat.
the thing.
Yeah, right.
Here's the thing. If they can scrape your thoughts, in theory, that means then you could put information into the machine that normally wouldn't be there. Does that make sense?
No, yeah.
So you
Tricking
can
the AI,
manipulate-
yeah.
Yes, you can manipulate the machine, but it would have to be done collectively through a mind jack. Because if you did it on yourself, there might not be enough power, because each one of our cells is like 1.3 watts or something.
No, there was actually a movie that demonstrates that, where this guy used mind control and then made the guy think that he was going to stab him, and so he was able to get the knife into him by making him think that you're getting stabbed.
Correct.
So it was
Minority Report.
So
Minority
thank you.
Report with Tom Cruise.
Yeah. They arrested
So
him.
Montagraph, how much time do we have to prepare? Do you think before we go full digital currency, and how because I can't affect that, right? So how do I prepare, and then do I just start investing into crypto?
Well, here's the thing about crypto. I don't know a whole lot of.
Yeah, I'm horrible.
I have gotten into the crypto in the last couple of years, and studied it a little bit.
Just go
but,
Tesla.
And I, okay. Here's the thing. Well, not that anybody in your crew, maybe there is. You never know who's anyone who is anybody. You never know. But for example, if you know anything about the NFT is kind of like in the crypto sphere. So if you took the picture of this and you took a picture of it and you say, okay, I want to create an NFT. Well, you can do that, but you also have the ability, if you know what you're doing, is you can bring that image into an editor and write in your metadata. So technically, if you're really, we're working on a project, let's say, you could actually cut code in the metadata, and then you could put it on OpenSea or Rarible or one of the sites that hold the NFTs, put it in, but not for sale, and then flatten it on the planetary ledger. Which means the only way for the person to pull the code out would to make you an offer on that NFT for a penny.
Oh, I see what you're
You'd
saying.
sell it to them for a penny, and they would have national secrets, if you wanted, right there in the code. The only way
it's
to
a
get
way
it
to
out
launder
is for the
information.
purchase. What?
Yeah.
It's a way of laundering information, basically.
Pretty much, but secretly and covertly, because if you look at the NFT sphere, it's in the hundreds of billions by now. But I'm positive that we're still smarter than they are. But
Definitely.
they are scraping your thoughts. The reason why this is important, you had a thought and then you saw something immediately. Basically, they have control of your cortex. Do you know how dangerous that's going to be? That means that if they're scraping your very personal thoughts, your most ultimate, like daily thoughts, that means that they could incorporate for you to see, hear, and think anything they wanted to.
I heard some of the recent national accidents have been suggested like that. Like, how did some of these kids acquire $7,000 assault rifles with kitted out, fully kitted out? You know what I mean? They're like, dude, how did a kid with no job get this kind of equipment to go to do that? So yeah, no, I completely, yeah, no, it's scary. I'm glad that you're here, dude. Like, this is a golden opportunity, and I'm really glad you're here. But unfortunately, I actually have to get to bed. Thank you, Flow State. Thank you, guys. Hugs, everybody. It
Thanks
was
for
nice to
coming
meet you,
up.
Montagraph, Sarah, everybody, Mitchell, Nachakita. You're awesome. Everybody's awesome. Peace.
All right, later.
Later.
So, Monograph, how are they utilizing the voice to skull technology with the 5.7?
You know what? I've heard that they're doing that, but you know who's to say? I haven't. They're not talking to me yet. I did get my meaning.
But it's
But
capable
it does
though.
exist. I know it exists.
I know it exists.
It's very dangerous. You hear about people being like gang stalked, not on the internet, but like electronically gang stalked,
Yep.
where they always have some sort of. But believe it or not, when people say the tinfoil hat, and people make a big joke about that, well, believe it or not, if I thought I was being attacked that way, I would do the same thing. I'd crumple frickin' tinfoil. You can laugh all you want, and I would put it in a damn toboggan because
Which
that
makes
would at
sense.
least cut down on 80% of the signaling. The problem
And it
is,
makes sense that that's why they would make it a joke as well.
yeah, that's right. The problem is your whole body is an antenna, technically, because your whole body is an
Yeah.
electric vessel. This is why they're trying to get. If you ever heard of the Lucid Trust, they worship electricity, because
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever heard of
And then
spontaneous
weapons for
combustion.
quiet war.
Huh?
Yeah,
Oh,
spontaneous combustion.
okay.
Okay, spontaneous combustion is where a human being just lights up in flame. People are like, oh, that's impossible. Well, no, it's not, because if you look at each cell in the human body, equates to, I believe it's like 1.3 watts. I think it is.
Something like that. Yeah.
But if you got to look at how many cells do you have in the body? 5 trillion. So now you take
Yeah.
5 trillion and multiply that by 1.3 watts, and what do you get? Yeah, you'd go up like a candle, all right. So that's the thing. So how are you going to? Here's the problem with the whole crypto bullshit. They're going to have power, but how are they going to facilitate the power? Well, they're going to facilitate the power through you. That's how they're going to do it. Right now, because, and I'm not knocking you there, Notch, and I'm not knocking you there, Mitchell, or Hank would be a good example, but people with darker skin, they have a higher rate of, in other words, of wearables for electronics. Whereas somebody that is a lighter skin, it's not going to work so good. But if you have tan skin, if you have dark skin, this is going to be perfect. Now, I know this sounds very controversial, or it sounds very like I'm a conspiracy weirdo or nutbag. I'm not. You might think I am, but I'm really not. The thing is, the war on white is a big deal. The war on white is a big deal. The reason why is white skin is not the best when it comes to electronics being hooked up to you.
Meaning that we're not as good at batteries, or we're harder to read, or what?
You're not. Well, it's not that you're not as good as batteries. There is a part of the skin. I'm trying to remember what it's called, but in the future, what they plan on doing is basically transhumanism transhumanism is a big deal, and it's real. So what I'm trying to say is, all of the people that are coming in the United States by the millions of people, you'll notice that there's not a bunch of white folks. Now, why would that be?
I have
This is
noticed
only
that.
hold on. This is only speculation. This is conjecture on my part, but I truly believe that basically it's replacement population, and the reason why is because those skin tones will be used for the transformation of transhumanism into the electronic panopticon that will give you your international language, which is binary right now. You'll have a international language, which is binary, but an international language, and then, of course, the international money.
Okay, so question.
And Mr. White's not involved.
How do if the language is binary, how do they scrape our non-binary thoughts into binary?
Through the frequency. Because everything, either living or not living, gives off a radiation signature or a frequency signature. Everything. A rock, a plant, a leaf, a tree, everything.
Yeah, I have
And
an
if you
EMF
could-
reader, and it's wild what those things do around routers.
That's right. So microwave too. So Sarah, right there, I'm not picking on you, Sarah. I don't know you, so I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying,
Alright.
if you knew the frequency of Sarah, that means you could control Sarah. You sure
And
could.
they have harmonics right there.
You could feed her information. You could whisper to her. You could speak to her. You would have control of her cortex. You could make her see things, make her believe things, make her read things. You could curate her news cycle just to her. Try to imagine how crazy that would be.
It's not
because-
crazy.
You have what is called quantum computers. You have the D waves. And these are computers that are solving 8 billion problems per second. Try to imagine that. So
I
how
call
many
those
people are on the earth? 8 billion. So every second, this machine is figuring out a problem. Who can compete with that? Natural intelligence can still compete. Because what do they have right now? You have Elon Musk is talking about using all these stupid batteries from the cobalt that they're mining in Africa, but you have this thing called the NDB, which stands for the nano diamond battery, or excuse me, the nuclear diamond battery. That's what it stands for. A nuclear diamond battery, a AA battery will last 28,000 years. They're available right now. Look them up. Please do. They're called nuclear diamond batteries. So why the hell are they screwing around with cobalt and lithium? Why are they screwing around with solar panels? Why are they screwing around with all the frickin' fan and the blades with your climate change garbage? Because it's bullshit. It's all bullshit. They're trying to bring the United States, the European Union, and create what is called a feudalistic society. Feudalism. So you're kissing the asses of the kings and the rich and the super rich. You'll have the elites, the rich, and the poor. Nothing in between.
Is the nuclear diamond battery a concept, or have they made them?
They've already made it. Google it right now. Please do.
That's what I'm saying. I'm looking
It's available today, right now. It's not. Basically, what they do is they're building these very teeny tiny nuclear reactors within the battery. So it's literal perpetual power forever. One AA battery will last 28,000 years. So they could make a block battery that would power your whole house, and it would last for, I'm just guessing, 10,000 years. Again, why do they keep whining about all the CO2 and all the bullshit? Why do they keep whining that they gotta, eliminate the agriculture because the cows are farting? No, dude. What they're trying to do is they're trying to bring the entire world into saying, hey, only we can create the food. Only we can do this. And no more small farms, only the conglomerate farms. Only we can create the pork and the beef in the labs. You're not allowed to have a small farm. Amish, no, we got to get rid of them. Right?
Right.
We're in trouble, dude. We're in deep trouble. I really believe that I think we might be cashless by next. I'm gonna say we'll be cashless by 2025 for sure, or before.
That's the agenda right now. Is they have it set up to go live
Yeah.
25.
Let me play devil's advocate a bit. How much? What's the likelihood that the agenda is a psyop because everybody's easier to control when they're living in fear?
What is it? What now?
Is it possible that all these agendas and stuff are a psyop to keep everybody living in
No.
fear and anxiety? Why
No.
not?
No, because it's real. They've already backed things up. Look at what's happening with the European Union, specifically. I want to say the Kiwis, the Australia, back in Australia. Australia is the country that they're using as the prototype. Because just recently they're saying you can't use cash. You can use cash, but you'll have to pay a higher fee for it, if you will. It's easier just to do this. They're on their 6th roll up your sleever, if you get my meaning from the whole
Right.
bullshit, right?
And I guess I'm not talking specifically about cashless. I do think I was a banker for 10 years, and I do definitely believe that they would like to go cashless.
Well, hold on a second. If you're a banker, you know what happened just today? Today is Sunday.
I was a banker. This was 10 years ago for the 10 years before that.
Do you know what happened today? I'm just letting you know what happened today dealing with banking.
No, I don't.
ISO 20022, and that is it's the whole SWIFT. It's
What about
about dealing with the messaging system. Matter of fact, all the banks involved, there's a ton of them, and it just happened today.
What happened to SWIFT though? Like everybody's involved.
SWIFT
in
SWIFT is still in place. However, there's theory that XRP / Ripple is going to replace them.
And I believe that is the point. I don't think that they'll use actually XRP though. I think they're getting the infrastructure stood up, and then when they're ready to implement a CBDC, they'll swap out XRP for something that's centrally owned and held. I don't think they're going to give up the keys to just XRP holders.
No, I'll agree with they will do that ultimately, but I think they'll use XRP because XRP already has an international stamp right now. They're the biggest one. Bitcoin.
You think that they would let that much power and wealth go to actual holders, random ass holders of XRP? You and me? I don't actually hold any more XRP. I sold all my crypto, but.
I'm just saying they would be in like cahoots with them. I mean, look what happened in 1913 when they signed our country away over there at Jekyll Island. They made a deal, and
that's exactly
those
my
five
point.
families, they're still making money today. So yeah, I could see how they would.
You've got a fight. Thank you, Hank, for the super chat. And there's a question for Montagraph. What is your opinion on the work of Stephen Wolfram, Louis Rossman, and Richard Stallman? I've never heard any of them.
I don't know him. Don't know him.
Yep. All right, there you have. That was a quick super chat. Thank you, Hank, for the super chat.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for the $5. Don't know who they are. Have not a clue. I'm not a hacker, by the way. Just want to let you know. I'm not. Sure ain't.